Good afternoon. It is the afternoon of the 6th day of my trip so far. I am taking a jaunt down the scenic little stretch of highway in southern New Mexico on my way over to Albuquerque to see my cousin. And since I'm kind of bored and I don't feel like listening to the radio, I thought I'd make a video. The title of this video will be Lessons I've Learned Thus Far on My Trip. Lesson 1. Food storage. Do not ever put raw meat in the same cooler as your other food. Yes, I did that yesterday. Decided I wanted to cook out, so I went to Walmart and bought some raw hamburger. Not the ground patty stuff, but the actual patties. Frozen patties. Threw them in the cooler with my other food, including my lunch meat, and went back to the campsite. Ripped the bag apart, started making hamburgers, stuck the bag back in the cooler, and that was when I realized that basically the entire bag had been covered with, whatever, germs or bacteria, whatever, because I'd been handling the raw meat in the bag at the same time. So this morning I had to clean out the entire cooler. I threw away all the food that was in it. Although it was just lunch meat, so it wasn't that much. Cleaned the thing very thoroughly. And also, another lesson I learned from that little incident was as soon as you get raw meat out in the open, it's a big, glaring neon invitation to every insect within 50 miles. I literally had a cloud of flies trailing me from the moment I got back from Walmart last night all the way up to right now because they're still in the car. Some of them. It's ridiculous. I've never seen that many flies in my life in one location. And all because I had the raw meat out for, 2 minutes maybe. And once the flies come, they don't go away because that scent or whatever stays around. In fact, there's probably some in here right now that I didn't manage to get rid of. So, always make sure you've got your food safely stored away in a container separate from your other, make sure you've got your raw food stored separately from your other food, I should say. I know that's basic living 101, it's what everybody's mom told us, but everybody's mother told them. But you'd be surprised how easy it is to forget in the heat of the moment. And I did, I forgot, so I had to spend an hour or two this morning cleaning that up. On the plus side, though, I took all the extra raw meat from last night and made some nice 8 or 9 hamburger patties and stuck them in a Ziploc bag, so I'll be good for dinner for the next few days. Okay, so that covers lesson 1. Lesson 2. Never try to sleep on your back seat. If you're any taller than 5 feet, it's not going to work. I tried that the first night, and my head was jammed up against one side of the car, and my feet were smashed against the other side, and the whole night I had a dream that I was in the trash compactor from that one Star Wars scene, except I didn't get out. Yeah. But that was the whole night for me. Eventually I figured out that I could just lay down the passenger seat, put my sleeping bag on it, and sleep pretty comfortably, and that's what I've been doing. I haven't been staying at campgrounds. Third lesson. Mentioning campgrounds brings me to the third point. Third lesson is do your research before you go to a town. Get on the internet, there's plenty of Wi-Fi around, McDonald's, Starbucks, whatever, and look up at the campgrounds, the place you'll be going. I found a great deal on the internet last night for Roswell, New Mexico. There's a park, Bottomless Lake State Park, and particularly a place called Lee Lake, and they've got some really nice campsites there. I had to get a RV site because the tent sites were all sold out, but it was only $4 extra for shelter, meaning overhang, pretty big picnic table, grill, electricity hookup, and fresh water, your own spout, and not to mention the lake right there, which you could swim in. It was gorgeous. I love that place so much. All for $14. I'm not kidding. It was great. I wish I could find that kind of deal everywhere I went. So yeah, that was number 2. Do your research. Number 3. Make sure you know where you're going. Again, this kind of ties into the research thing, but I found that going to Google Maps every time you wanted to go someplace, and making sure you knew the route was the best way to do it. I tried to find this one free campground in Colorado Springs a few nights ago, and did not look at the map closely enough, or didn't write down the directions right. Well, the directions were confusing, but still, I should have found the place if I just done a little more research or remembered the map better. But I basically spent 4 hours looking for this thing, this little campground lost in the midst of one of the mountains up in there. And I was pretty lost. I mean, I was on a one-lane dirt road cut into the mountainside. 6 inches from the passenger door was a sheer rock wall, and 6 inches from the driver's door was a 3,000-foot drop, and in the middle of nowhere. And I went down that road about 5 miles before I finally panicked, gave up, went back to town because I was low on gas. And as it turned out, if I had just been going for maybe 1,000 feet further, I would have found the darn place. But I didn't, because I wasn't sure where I was going. So always make sure you know your route. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, number 4. Don't be afraid to deviate from the schedule or your itinerary, whatever. Some of the best experiences I've had. Ooh, classic car. Nifty. Just waved to him. He didn't even see me. Jerk. Okay, where was I? Lesson number 4. What was lesson number 4? Oh yeah, itinerary. Don't be afraid to deviate from it. Some of the best experiences I've had on this trip have been stuff that has not been on the itinerary. Just seeing random crap by the side of the highway, and I'm like, ooh, I want to take a look at that. That right there. I don't know what that is. Didn't have time to get a look at it, but some kind of round stone tower. Anyway, you see stuff like that, you just stop, take a look at it. And honestly, that's been where most of the fun on this trip has come from. Just all the unexpected surprises that happened along the way. Some of the campgrounds I stayed at were unexpected, and I just happened across them. What is all these stone buildings? Check this out. I just passed one like it a minute ago. It's weird. Anywho, so yeah, do fun stuff or unexpected stuff. It'll be fun. Trust me. Just yesterday I found a diving board in the middle of a lake. And yes, I used it. It was great. I have not used a diving board since I was a kid, because I think all the lawyers in the state of Missouri got together and banned them from every pool. Anywho, do fun stuff. Let's see, lesson number 5. Is there a lesson number 5? I can't really think of one right now. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll probably learn one pretty soon. On the plus side, I've done a lot of things right on this trip. Some of my most valuable things that I've used, power strip, extension cord, chargers, this handy little, you can't really see it, but I've got the camera hooked up to it, DC to AC adapter, where I plug in one end into the car, and the other end is just an ordinary electrical outlet. And that's what I've got the camera plugged into, and I also use it to charge cell phone and stuff like that. Another really handy item, obviously the Atlas. Everybody needs one of those. Another handy item, the cooler. We were just talking about that. That thing has been really handy. Some of my best food has been stored in that cooler. Well, this doesn't look good. Road closed. Huh. Okay, so cooler was a useful item. What else? Get that straightened out. Cooler, sleeping bag, tent. That's very important. Although honestly, I've only used my tent twice, and this is the 6th day, so shelter, I guess. Having a car you can sleep in. Protection. I've got a baseball bat and clandestinely hidden knife, which I don't think the camera can see from here, but anywho, I hope I'll never have to use them, and if I do have to use them, I hope I'll use them effectively. But they're nice to have. The camera's tilted. Alright. Well, I think that's it. I've probably bored whoever's watching this long enough. Check out that pretty view. You don't see this every day.